Hey, good afternoon. This is May Valensky with a Driving Markets. I was unable to actually get on to do a YouTube today and do a media broadcast. It's late in the day, but obviously I've had comments come in from all types of clients saying, where is the daily broadcast? So let's kick off. Remember, anything said in this piece is only an opinion. It's not investment advice or financial advice. So the biggest news has to be the Liz Truss resignation. We've been going on about this for the last 2 weeks. Liz Truss, the UK government, the UK economy is in a shocking state from a confidence perspective, because what she did and what her ex-chancellor of the Exchequer did, Kwasi Kwarteng, was effectively completely destroy the confidence that the global bankers and analysts had in the UK economy by giving away huge amounts of money with no way of financing it within a limited amount of time. We're talking about billions, of tens of billions, and they never had an absolute answer where they're going to get that finance from. What they actually said is, we're going to borrow the money. Well, you can borrow the money, but how are you going to pay it back? And she persisted in going down this route of giveaways, and it was U-turn after U-turn after U-turn, and eventually she resigned today. Initially, the FTSE jumped up on the back of that, and the pound slightly strengthened, but as the day wore on, the pound got weaker and the FTSE got weaker. I apologize I didn't give you that indication this morning, so it would have been very clear that once the news is out, then the FTSE and the pound will start to go down because of the uncertainty where the UK is going. Remember, they've got to choose a new Prime Minister within the next 7 days. And who's that Prime Minister going to be? Is it going to be Rishi Sunak? Is it going to be someone else? Is it going to be someone who's going to be a flatliner, or is it going to be someone that's charismatic and dynamic? But I can't think of anyone within the Tory party or UK politics in that particular sense that's going to be dynamic and take the UK up. So they've got two major issues on the table at the moment. They've got the UK gilts issue, and by the way, the yield did come down dramatically as Liz Truss became clear that Liz Truss was going to resign. So the yield on is below 4%, and that's essential that that yield falls further. The more the yield falls, the more it's a sign of confidence in the UK. So when the UK government comes to borrow money on international markets, then their rating will be higher, and it'll be easier, and at a cheaper rate they'll be able to borrow that money and fund the UK economy, fund the country, and get that country back up there running. And also, as regards the pound, Andrew Bailey, which is, sorry, is absolutely useless, should have raised interest rates dramatically by now, but they haven't. In fact, there's even comments coming out. They're saying, oh, we might not raise rates as much as needed. And that is pushing the pound down. He needs to raise rates by at least 100 basis points from now on, at least in the immediate future, probably 200 basis points, but he won't do that. Remember, inflation came in the UK yesterday 10.1%. It's super high, and the only way they're going to get under control is to really hammer out higher interest rates within the economy, and that's not happening at the moment, and that in effect is going to push the pound lower. The pound against the dollar is just at 112. It should really be at 130, 135. Elsewhere on the market, Tesla has failed in delivering and not meet the numbers that the market expected, and it's down 6%. I expect Tesla to fall even further. As regards Apple and Facebook, I'm still of the opinion they're going to be below $100 by year end. The 10-year US Treasury bond in the US was running at a yield yesterday, or this morning in fact, at 4.18%, the highest it's been in over 14 years. That is super high, and that's causing the mortgage market to be super expensive in the States. And in fact, that mortgage market's trending downwards, and what starts in the States ends up in the rest of the world. So you have Europe and the UK property prices trending down as rates rise, and rates do need to rise, and they are going to rise as inflation rises all the way through to 2023. Oil is hovering around about the $91 a barrel. That's also going to go above $100 because OPEC is probably going to cut production even further. So overall, you've got a lot of signs out there of uncertainty. Bitcoin needs to fall to around about 15,000 because it's topped out at 19,400, can't seem to get any further forward. So you've got the cryptos going down, you've got high risk assets going down. You're going to have overall inflation and interest rates keep an eye on what's going to happen in the UK. That is the biggest news at the moment. Will the Tories be successful in getting the economy back online? I think they will, but it's going to have to be some very tough cuts going ahead and a lot of pain, so get ready for it. Mayor Walensky, Driving Markets. Apologies again for the late broadcast. Have a good evening. Subscribe, pass comments. Happy to hear from you. All the best.